All right, y'all. People always asking us for cheap project cars, something that they can go ahead and put together themselves. So we got one here for you today. We got a Chevrolet Caprice. Stay tuned. Like I said, we'll take you around her, show her what we think is wrong with it, and get her on the road, put her on the road. All right, y'all. So we got a 1990 Caprice. As I stated, this is going to be a project vehicle. Majority of everything wrong with it is cosmetic, I believe. So let's go around and look at it. Body itself is in pretty decent shape. The car is going to need paint. We'll go around it, but it almost feels like, you know, the paint is just straight across the top, you know, the hood, roof, trunk. But like I said, we'll go all around it and see. All the trim is intact. Pinstriping is intact. All the trim that goes around the windows are in good shape. Windshield itself, we don't have no cracks or anything like that. And as you look across the top, this is one of those things I was talking about, like clearly it's gonna need paint. And looking at the roof, you can see where it's at. But on the plus side, again, looking around the trim, really nothing there. All the trim is intact. Rear windshield also intact, no cracks or anything. All the trim is there. Looking down the side, appears to be pretty straight. I don't see any body work or anything. And then looking at the trunk, like I said, if you kind of just go straight across the top, kind of looks like that's where all the paint needs to be. It really looks like the car just sat out in the sun and the oxidation just tore it all across. And you know, with the sun being across the top of the car, that's where most of the paint damage is. Bumper itself is in good shape. No cracks, no dents. Don't look like any accidents of any kind. And then looking down the driver's side, again, pretty straight. Bumper filler is missing back here. Coming along, again, all the trim is intact around the along the doors and along the bottom and around all the windows themselves. And then over here again, you can see what I was talking about with the paint. Like I said, the sides of the car are pretty solid, honestly. And then once you look at the hood, that's what I was saying. Again, it's almost straight across. And then coming towards the front, the bumper itself is in good shape, just like the rear. All the chrome is good, no pitting, no cracks, dents, or anything like that. It is missing all of the lower bumper fillers that go here. So all of that would need to be replaced. As far as the grille and the headlights, they're all in shape and they do work. The trim is intact there. Let me go ahead and pop the trunk and the hood. All right, it is a 305 powered car. It's AC equipped, but the AC is not blowing cold right now. Power brakes, power steering. Again, we'll get on the test drive and we'll test all of that. But relatively clean and organized underneath. We go ahead and check the trunk. And I knew that. Give me a second. We're gonna come back to the trunk because I think one of the keys fell off and I had the trunk open, so we'll come back to it. Trunk is completely empty and super clean. Like, I mean, there's not a spot of rust or dirt or anything in the trunk. It's just completely empty. But like I said, I'll find the other key. Door panel solid, no rips, no tears. Everything appears to be in decent shape. No rust under the doors or in the jambs. And the interior, surprisingly, is in excellent condition. No rips, no tears in the seats. Carpet is pretty good. No holes or anything. The dash is solid, but we do have some cracks. So you can see a little bit of cracks right across the top. Everything else is clean. Mileage reads 267,000. That is kilometers, so give or take, right at about 160,000 miles is where we're at. Regular miles. Like I said, that reads kilometers. Rear seat panel super clean. And again, no rust or anything. Carpet clean back here. And seats, again, excellent condition. No rips, no tears, burn marks, anything like that. Rear deck lid solid. And surprisingly, the headliner as well. Like, there's no sagging, dirt, or anything like that. Come along to this side. More of the same. Jams are solid. No rust to point out. And the panel's super good. No cracks or anything. Passenger side. Same with the doors. No rust, anything to point out. Passenger seat. I almost want to say perfect condition. Like I said, we don't have no rips or tears or anything like that. And then, let me move the papers. Like I said, you can see the carpet. Like I said, this interior on this car really shines. So we'll take it on a test drive, see if we notice anything else. But like I said, everything is cosmetic that makes this a project vehicle. All right, y'all, so we're gonna get ready to go in the test drive on the Caprice. As you see, she started up. The air is blowing, but again, we didn't charge it, so it's not freezing cold. Radio does not work. Left turn signal, right turn signal. Horn is good. Lights are good. Interior lights also came on. I know them outside lights are on. Let me give it a little bit of gas. The radio is like, I can hear something from the speakers, but as you see, it didn't light up, so don't worry about that. All the interior lights are on. Trunk button, go ahead and pop it. And like I said, the trunk is perfect. There's nothing here. We don't have any signs of rust, nothing. It's all, like I said, it's perfect condition. So we'll put it on the rack after the test drive to check underneath. But if the inside is clean, I know it's gonna be pretty good. Let me go ahead, take it on this test drive. I'm gonna roll down the windows. Like I said, the windows do work. Let's get this down. Let's see. Throttle response is pretty decent. I'm not feeling any lag or anything, so that's a plus. Brakes are working. A little tiny bit of a lag there coming up that hill. Slight possibility they didn't fill it up with gas and the floater moved. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Surprisingly, the steering is tight, so that doesn't feel loose. Brakes are good. I didn't have to get to the floor on them. They stopped. Let's see. I'm gonna keep it straight. Hands off the wheel. Pulling a little bit to the right. Let me see. It almost looked like the wheel is turned a little to the right too, so it might be an alignment issue. Could even be the tires themselves, but we'll check and see. Other than that, the throttle response is decent. We'll see once I turn this corner. Give it a little bit of gas. This 305 isn't known for having a lot of power anyway, but it is getting up. Obviously, the speedometer is showing that I'm doing 60, but again, it's because it's in kilometers, so I'm not doing 60. I'm probably doing about 35. I think it's like 35, 40, somewhere in that range. So every time I'm hitting the throttle, I can hear it feeding it, so that's a plus. not hearing any rattles or anything neither. Nothing shaking on the little bumps that I am hitting. Windows aren't rattling or anything. I know that sometimes that can be an issue in these, but you know, everything feels solid. Even on the bumps I'm hitting, I'm not bottoming out. So we'll check the shocks and everything once we get underneath them. Maybe they were replaced recently, but like I said, it's not hitting hard at all. We'll take this little dip here and see how that goes. It's a pretty solid car. I'm pretty sure, you know, again, it's a project vehicle with this many kilometers on it. Obviously, cosmetically, you'll have to fix some things, but outside of that, I think you'll be pretty solid. You know, a little bit of, most of the time people get these cars anyway. You're doing some type of LS swap or some type of motor work. So I think if you go through this 305 and, you know, just like I said, cosmetically get everything fixed, it's a pretty solid car, especially for the price point. We're pricing this at $6,500. So by far, it's more than half cheaper than any car that we've had before, Caprice. So stay tuned. I'll get her on the rack and we'll check her out. We got the 90 up on the rack, and like I said, the rear bumper is pretty solid. Again, I don't see no dents, rust, pitting, or anything, so we're solid there. As expected, underneath the trunk pans, gonna be perfect, because I can tell by the inside everything would be solid. Gas tank looks solid, no signs of leaking or anything. The frame looks good as well. I don't see any rust or anything, no patchwork. Exhaust would probably need to be redone, obviously. It looks like it's been 100% it needs to be redone, so it will need exhaust work. And you'd probably, you know, obviously if you're gonna build this car, you're gonna probably pull the rear end, clean it and coat it anyway. Again, the floors, surprisingly, this is a Canada car. The floors are perfect. Like, the coating is still intact, and we don't have any signs of soft spots, patchwork, or anything. Frame is good as well. Cat's still intact. Just came off the test drive. No signs of leaking from the oil or transmission pan. We got disc brakes in the front, drums in the rear. Just your basic stock shocks and springs setup. Relatively clean underneath for what it is, honestly. And the front bumper, again, minus those bumper fillers we talked about, chrome is super solid. We don't have any issues here. I'm gonna move along the passenger side. Wheel well solid, trim is intact. Better look at all the frames, the frame, the paint underneath. Pretty solid for sure. Got a little bit of paint chips and stuff here on that rear quarter panel. Coming around to the driver's side rear quarter panel, she's solid. Wheel well's in good shape. And again, trim, framework, all the body, super solid over there. So, like I said, she's pretty clean underneath. If you're interested in this 1990 Caprice, make sure you give us a call, 256-801-4409. As always, appreciate you watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe below.